The as seen on TV shelf space that you see at retail is under the umbrella of an industry called direct response television, DRTV. And within the umbrella of direct response television, you have short form and long form. The long form are those 30-minute infomercials that you see. That's a 30-minute bank of time, usually high price point items. That's not my expertise. I really don't know that much about it. I'm not involved in it at all. My expertise is in the short form, which is now a 2-minute TV spot that complements the retail rollout. On average, it's a $19.95 price point. Now, there's lots of ways to slice the marketing to get to $19.95, and you can go under $19.95, but generally we don't go over it because all of the historical data that we have to this point, as of this day right now, shows that things over $19.95 just don't sell to the same high volume as things under $19.95 in our one little distribution channel. So I'm not talking about all of inventing in every segment. I'm just talking about this one little way that you sell products. There's products that succeed on TV that failed everywhere else. There's products that fail on TV that go on and succeed somewhere else. So there's lots of ways to make it happen. This is just one avenue for you. Okay.
Is that right? I mean, it would be the opposite, wouldn't it?
What would be the opposite?
Long form would be 60 seconds, short form would
No,
be 30?
long form is 30 minutes.
Oh,
and
30,
actually,
okay, I'm
I
sorry,
need to
I
change
saw
that
seconds.
slide on the
Okay,
60
gotcha.
seconds, because
Oh.
really the 60-second commercials didn't do well. The math formula
Okay.
turned out that the 60-second commercial did not produce the winning numbers required to make it happen, and the data now is that it takes a 2-minute TV spot to produce the right metrics to be successful. So I'll explain a little bit more about that too. Any questions about the industry, about the direct response industry, the long or the short, or the as seen on TV? Yes?
Yeah, did you say that, do you evaluate the intellectual property of the invention?
The question is, do we evaluate the intellectual property of the invention? The answer is no, we do not. And I know that some people are like, what? Let me explain. We're not against intellectual property. Intellectual property makes good sense, and there's a place and a time for it. But 90% of patents issued through the United States Patent Office never see a store shelf. We really don't worry about the intellectual property as much as we worry about the sale of the product. Now, the intellectual property is important, and it's something that, you know, it's a part of the sequence that every inventor needs to pay attention to. But in this one little slice, it's more about, does the product sell rather than is it patentable or does it have a patent? Question from the patent attorney.
If your market life is only 1 to 5 years, a patent's not relevant. The patent won't issue for 3-4 years.
Thank you. He says if you market in only 1 to 5 years, the patent's not relevant because the patent won't issue for 3 years. Good point. Thank you.
Who bears the liability of infringement? Who bears the liability of infringement? If you're just getting it to market and selling it as quick as you
Yeah.
can, which I can appreciate,
Right.
Who bears the liability?
We generally do. Who bears the responsibility of infringement? I actually have not been involved in a infringement case, so I can't speak to that out of my personal knowledge. But what I see and what I believe to be true is that if a product fails, there's no money, and the patent is irrelevant at that point because there's no money made. If a product succeeds and is a multi-million-dollar winner, and a legitimate patent owner comes up, then they have a legitimate case. And I would think that because there's so much money made on each winning product, that inventor of that legitimate patent would be paid off. I have heard and read stories of there being court battles about that. I've not been in one, don't know about it, and I really don't want to be a part of it, but that's what my understanding would be.
Well, in the agreement, it would delineate who, if I'm the inventor and that happens, do I have to suffer?
No.
Am I liable, or you're taking on all the liability?
We take it on. In a licensing agreement,
Okay.
general, we'll take it all on. In
Okay.
a licensing agreement, we'll take it all on. Okay, here?
Interest in completely unpatentable ideas. For example, if I went back and found some videotapes of something 40 years ago, is relevant today, it went off the market, and I came to you and said, you really should be doing this again,
Yes. The
would
question
you
is,
want to hear that?
interest in old ideas, old technology, yes. We call it old gold.
Okay.
There's some products that failed 5, 10 years ago, but the market's changed, things are different. And so old gold happens. So
Could you
question
do a
about your-
licensing on it?
Oh, yeah, we'd license it.
Okay.
We don't worry about the patent
All
holder.
right,
What we
gotcha.
worry about is the product owner.
Okay, great.
If you tell us you're the product owner, you invented it, we're taking that in good faith, that you're the product owner, that you invented it. And we're signing an agreement with you. If somebody comes down the road and has a patent issue, if there's no money, it doesn't matter, because there's no money. If there's money, then, that person would be paid off, or they can go to court. Question back there?
Carrie, I wanted to find out from you, if a person has an approved patent has been issued on a product, and they also have a production facility in line, they own the production mold.
Yep.
And I've been told if you're going into a licensing agreement, yes, there's some intellectual property that's of some value. But also, is there not some times where a front-end amount of money can be negotiated to that developer from you as a licensing company, either in advance or money that they have spent a small amount?
Right, okay,
I know it happens, and I just wanted to find out. if
the
you-
question is about advance royalties, and if you have money in molds and other types of intellectual property or other methods, can you use that to leverage an advanced royalty? I have heard that you can do that in non-TV segments. In a TV segment, it's really more about having a market viability test. I'll explain it in a minute, but you've got to jump through several hoops before we know if it's a winner, so that would be much later in the game. That would be a later discussion in the game. But it's possible. It's possible.
Okay.
Okay, one more, and then I'm going to move on.
And maybe you're still gonna go on, but wait, there's more. Is there any fulfillment company that doesn't upsell and add on that phone?
No. But wait, there's more. Is there any company that doesn't upsell? We don't upsell during the market viability test because we're trying to get a good math formula, a good business metric to work. But once there's a full rollout, it's all about the upsell. Many, many times you call in for that 1995 order, and by the time you're done, you have $60 that you've spent. That's a good thing. In my business, that's a good thing. So, it's not for everybody, and that's okay. But, it's for some people.